to West Country Wanderings and welcome to another one of my canal series. This is part 3 of the Herefordshire and Gloucestershire Canal. Today I'm at a place called Ashperton, and the reason I've come here is to see if I can see any of the remains of the Ashperton Tunnel. Now, Ashperton Tunnel is much shorter than the Oxenhall Tunnel that, well, rather we didn't see on one of my earlier videos on part 1 and part 2 because I never actually got to the front portal of it. But it's probably only a quarter of the length of the Oxenhall Tunnel. And that's the one, of course, that goes under the M50. But I recently saw on the Herefordshire and Gloucestershire Canal Trust's YouTube channel that they've uncovered part of the front portal. So we're going to have a look at that shortly. I'm just at the back of the parish church in Ashperton, and behind me is the moat of Ashperton Castle, which stood at one time just on that bank over there, but still the moat remains here. But today isn't about castles and moats, we're here for the canal, so why not join me on a tour again on the Herefordshire and Gloucestershire Canal. So when I did my last video at Oxenhall Part 2 at the Herefordshire and Gloucestershire Canal, we had tons and tons of daffodils doing that walk there, trying to find the entrance, but of course I was thwarted because I just couldn't get near it. Here today though, we have bluebells and celandines and wood anemones looking absolutely resplendent today. Today is Good Friday, so happy Easter. Apologies if you're watching this after Easter, but I have put up a little Easter message as well. I've just filmed that for people that follow my channel. But anyway, we're not here for any of that. We're going to head to the other side of the church and the village, down into the valley there to look and see what we can of the remains of the Herefordshire and Gloucestershire Canal. So Ashperton lies about halfway between the town of Ledbury in Herefordshire and the city of Hereford, which obviously is the capital of this fabulous and fine county in the west of England. Ashperton Church is behind me. I just insert a photograph of that now. We're heading along Church Lane towards the main road. We're going to cross over that and then down towards and see what remains of the canal. See you in a bit. They may be thinking to yourselves, well, what's the point in restoring a canal if there's little chance of it really connecting to a network, or need, in this case, the navigable section of the River Severn near Gloucester? Well, of course, that isn't the entire point. Obviously, it would be fabulous if this canal does reconnect back up with the network, or to say the navigable section of the Severn, but I think it's very unlikely to happen in my lifetime, and it's going to take a long time. Oh, that's not great lighting, is it? Let's move it that way. That's better. That's better. Just moving through this field here. Yes. That's not the point. The point is, of course, is that it's fabulous places in terms of space, of open space, and to enjoy countryside and nature. Canals are wonderful for that, whether they are connected, whether it's a Canals and River Trust canal, part of the network, as we say. Obviously, there's many and many of those around the Midlands, around Worcester and Birmingham, Stourport, and all of those that we have covered, and obviously we'll be covering more of those on the channel. Now, less of them in the furthest part of the southwest that I cover. I've done the Grand Western Canal, Tiverton. I hope to do the Bude Canal in Cornwall, one of the very few canals in Cornwall. Hope to cover that at some future point, but they are around, and usually most people aren't that far from a canal, and they are fabulous places, whether they are been restored or not, to come and enjoy peace, a bit of peace and quiet and calm in our ever increasingly hectic and chaotic world. The location of this tunnel is actually at a place called Woolsopthorne. I'll put that name in and I'll do an insert of the map. And we have obviously come from Ashperton, which is the nearest village, but there is a settlement here at Woolsopthorne as well, and interestingly another moat and what looks like the remains of a medieval horse. So this is a really fascinating place. I'm not familiar with this part of Herefordshire. Obviously I did Ledbury before. I did a mystery day out by train. I'm not spoiling anything by doing that now because that was a few months ago. It's before Christmas when I took the train to Ledbury, and indeed I'll be catching the train this way again because there is another section of the Herefordshire and Gloucestershire Canal, and that is at Hereford itself, in the city centre, there are parts of a basin that's been restored there, and it also forms part of a new major project which includes some new housing and a shopping centre, and I'll be catching the train to Hereford to explore those sections here on West Country Wanderings as part of this. So that'll probably be coming up over the next 2 or 3 canals on the restored sections of Herefordshire and Gloucestershire Canal. So if that's kind of your thing, then hit the subscribe and the bell, then YouTube will tell you when the next Herefordshire and Gloucestershire one comes up. I may also have time today, because we've got the lighter evenings. It's not getting dark now till 8 and we're just after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There's a place called is it the Yarkhill or Yarkhill? I can't remember. I'll drop that in, and I'm hoping to fit that in. I can't promise, so that may be in today's video as well. Beautiful day here. Just the footpath just gone through a gate, kissing gate. Hi Roy, happy Easter to you too. One of my fellow YouTubers, Roy Edwards, on his channel. I've just come across this delightful cricket pavilion and playing field. It's wonderful, and this is very, very close to the entrance to the tunnel. So yeah, really stunning little location here. So that's the Herefordshire and Gloucestershire Canal, very deep there in that ravine, really, really deep. And the tunnel starts there, just on this bankment. I can't quite see the portal, but this is where the ravine, if you like, the ending, which is the deep cutting that they had to build to get this canal through this part of Herefordshire. And it went through this bank. I'll just show you that again. What I'm going to do now is follow the line of the tunnel, walk across the top of the tunnel, because there's a footpath near it, according to the OS map. And see what we can see on the other end of the tunnel, because I think that's the part that has been cleared recently by the Herefordshire and Gloucestershire Canal Trust. So yeah, there is the canal, just there in that deep ravine. I've just moved around to the side slightly, and I'm now standing above exact point where the tunnel starts, makes its way under the bank where I'm currently standing. And I put in the length of this tunnel and also the year that it was built. Now please bear in mind, of course, this section is the section between Ledbury and Hereford, and that section opened quite later than the section between Gloucester and Ledbury, as we spoke about before. And of course the Gloucester-Ledbury section was then built over by the Ledbury to Gloucester Railway, which we have spoke about. Now in front of me there is a steep bank. I have no idea if this is anything to do with the canal or not, but this bank in front of me looks like it runs along the course of the tunnel, which I'm currently standing on. The canal now is beneath my feet. Now, of course, is this possible? This bank was built up when they dug that deep cutting down there to get the canal in place, and this was the spoil remains. I'm not sure, I'm guessing that's but it continues. So the tunnel continues along in this direction. That is the direction of the Ledbury. I'm going to follow the footpath. There is a path that winds its way around that way, and we'll see what we can see on the other side of the tunnel. So just before I continue the journey to the other end of the tunnel, Ashperton or Walterport Thorn Tunnel, whichever you prefer, down this track lies Walterport Thorn Manor. It's just over there through the trees, but it is private property. So this, where I'm standing, is as a public right of way. I appear to be standing in an ancient Herefordshire orchard. It's quite delightful spot here. It's like going back in time. Really, really nice place. Anyway, we're going to continue our canal journey. So I'm now heading towards a place called Moor Farm. Tunnel entrance is behind me, but I can't get good access because it's private property. Now, interestingly, there is a tunnel cottage, which is fascinating. Taking a photo of that, and I'll insert that now, together with a plaque that's on the side of the cottage. Up ahead, though, where we get to Moor Farm, there should be a bridge over the former canal, the Herefordshire and Gloucestershire Canal. It's down there in a very deep ravine. And of course, following around here, you get the sense that how much more expensive this section of the canal would have been to build between Ledbury and Herefordshire, because obviously the additional tunnel and the very deep cuttings to remain the canal to be level, to avoid having too many locks. But of course that would have cost the company a lot of money to have built. So now standing on Moor Farm, Canal Bridge. Moor Farm is behind me. Canal Bridge here is still perfectly intact. We've actually got water in the canal, but of course it's very, very stagnant because there's no flow of water in that canal. And there's lots of trees that have grown up since this canal was abandoned long ago in the 19th century. But there are no obstructions, so it could be cleared. It is doable, there's nothing in the way. And the bridge is here, still here. And the canal goes underneath. The lane here, this quiet little farm lane, making its way to Ledbury in that direction, and that way towards the tunnel and onto the city of Hereford. So I've now come away from Ashperton Tunnel. I'm heading back towards Ashperton Church again. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to walk back to my car, and then I head down this place called Yarkhill. Well, it looks a bit confusing on the map because on the website of the Herefordshire and Gloucestershire Trust it says one of the restored sections is at Yarkhill. But when I look at the OS map, there doesn't seem to be any of the canal at Yarkhill, but at a place called either Monkton or Monkton, because that's where the course of the canal went through. It didn't go through Yarkhill at all. So I'm a bit bemused. Anyway, I'm going to head towards Yarkhill itself, because that's probably going to be the best place for me to park my car, and then I'm going to yomp across some fields, I expect, to see what we can see at the restored section of the canal at Monkton. So I'll see you there in a bit. So I'm now at Yarkhill Church in the village of Yarkhill. I'm going to make our way round by Yarkhill Court, round to Monkhill, and hopefully we'll then meet up with the restored section of the Herefordshire and Gloucestershire Canal. So now I'm making my way towards Herefordshire Farm along this delightful lane, and you can see why this canal wasn't really successful at all, because it really passed through some very, very rural areas indeed, and obviously outside of the city of Hereford, city of Gloucester and Ledbury, there wasn't a great deal in between, unlike the Thames and Severn and Stroudwater, which of course had the mills, or the ones in the Midlands down from Birmingham down to Worcester, Worcester up into Staffordshire. This really didn't connect many industrial areas. So I'm currently standing on Skew Bridge at Monkhide, and part of the towpath here has been cleared. Probably just make it that behind me. Grass has recently been cut past, day or two I would say, and all the bramble has been cleared from the side of the towpath. Also the canal at this point has been cleared as well, so it's looking much cleaner. Not the green duckweed and trees going up the middle that we saw earlier on in the video, but much improved here, so thank you very much Herefordshire and Gloucestershire Canal Trust. Fantastic job once again. Now sadly there doesn't appear to be any access to the towpath at that point by Skew Bridge, although it has been improved there. So I'm just going to make my way following this little country lane down to another canal bridge, and hopefully we'll be able to get access to the towpath there. Beautifully restored towpath of this section, grass recently cut. Also a fantastic canal bridge that's been restored there. Apologies for the noise from the farm over there, not sure what's going on there, some horrendous work going on in the farm, apologies for that. But yeah, it's a wonderful section here of the Herefordshire and Gloucestershire Canal, and it's really good to see that bridge restored here, as is this canal towpath and the canal at this section at Monkhide near the village of Yarkhill in Herefordshire. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's little tour of the Herefordshire and Gloucestershire Canal, looking at restored sections. So this is restored section number 3 on my channel. I'll be looking at other sections coming up, probably doing the Hereford bits and pieces. There's lots happening in Hereford, so that'll probably be number 4 on the Herefordshire and Gloucestershire Canal on West Country Wanderings. In the meantime, there'll be another canal update on the Stroudwater and Thames and Severn Canal. That'll probably be happening in May, middle of May. That'll be update number 9. But before then, there'll be something coming up to do with the Kennet and Avon Canal when we look at the aqueduct at Avon-Cliff. There'll also be other videos happening as well, so why not hit that subscribe and bell to find out what that'll be. I hope you enjoyed the little tour today here in Herefordshire, following this delightful canal between the cities of Gloucester and Hereford. Take care, look after yourselves, and I hope to see you on West Country Wanderings again very soon. All the best for now. Cheers now. Goodbye.